we are talking here about the magnitude of the copper project, which if you will convert all metals containing in this property, including copper, gold, and silver, we are talking about 60 million ounces gold equivalent project, which is absolutely huge.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by TNR Gold Executive Chairman Kirill Klipp. Kirill, good to speak with you as always. You're up with an update on your NSR royalty. McEwen's Los Azules Copper has requested admission to Argentina's incentive regime for large investments. So good news for Los Azules and also potentially for TNR Gold.
Yes, Steven, good afternoon. Thank you for having us today. We reached another major milestone for our company. As you know, we are building the green energy metals royalty and gold company at TNR Gold. And today we are celebrating another step closer to construction of Los Azules. And as you know, this month we graduated from the project generation junior mining company to the status of cash flow generating royalty company with inauguration of Mariana lithium production in Argentina on February 12th. And now we can discuss this major step for Los Azules, which will allow its development. We are talking here about Argentina's investment incentive plan for large investments, which means for this giant copper project in Argentina that income tax could be reduced from 35% to as low as 25%, that there will be no value added tax during the construction, that now McEwen Copper will be able to leave its export revenue outside of Argentina and reimburse its investments, including paying royalty. So it means that it will be easier for Rob McEwen to attract investment, which could be as high as $2.7 billion to construct this giant project in Argentina.
And I suppose this is just another example of the economic reforms brought under Argentina's President Javier Milei.
Yes, this is correct. He created a very bold economic plan in order to develop Argentina into the powerhouse of energy revolution. And here we are talking about construction of $2.7 billion major copper project in South America. And what is important to mention here that this Argentina's incentive plan for large investments means that there will be a 30-year plan of stability and attracting the very large amount of investments into the country. And here I would like just pause maybe for a second for all our shareholders, just to give an illustration of our model as a green energy royalty and gold metals company. So basically, we just celebrated the inauguration of $1 billion project created by Ganfeng Lithium at Mariana Lithium in Argentina. Now we are talking about major step towards construction decision on Los Azules Copper of $2.7 billion. And we are talking about still very small company, TNR Gold, with market cap below $10 million, which has royalties on both projects in Argentina.
In the meantime, McEwen Copper has also secured an environmental permit for that construction, hasn't it?
Yes, that is correct. And we celebrated this major milestone in December. And now we are moving towards feasibility study on the project.
So take us through that. So feasibility study and then construction. Is there a timeline for that?
Yes. And Rob McEwen just recently updated us. They're expecting feasibility study to be released in the first half of this year. And I would like to remind our audience that we had very solid results and preliminary economic assessments. So here we are talking again about the magnitude of $2.7 billion investment in Argentina's economy, when this project will be producing 175,000 tons of copper, and it will be not concentrate, but it will be LBMA copper plate, which is important. So you can sell it inside of Argentina, in South America, and you can export it as well via Chile. And we are talking here about the magnitude of the copper project, which if you will convert all metals containing in this property, including copper, gold, and silver, we are talking about 60 million ounces gold equivalent project, which is absolutely huge. And it constitutes of 10.9 billion pounds of copper in indicated category and 26.7 billion pounds of copper in inferred category. And what is important, feasibility study could not only reconfirm all economic assessments of preliminary economic study, but also we expecting that resource will be dramatically increased because in preliminary economic assessment, only drill holes up to December 2022 were used for the modeling.
You mentioned your graduation to a cash flow generating royalty company, Kirill. Fundamental Research has been doing its homework. What sort of potential valuations do they have for the TNR Gold NSR royalty?
Yes, Stephen. As you know, we were discussing for quite a time already the potential valuation for Los Azules based on the transactions in the marketplace. Like, for example, Rob McEwen was estimating that his own royalty on Los Azules could be valued as high as $100 million based on a Cisco deal with Sol Gold in Ecuador. And it would bring an assessment of TNR Gold's valuation based on that market transaction of over $30 million. But now we were very pleased to receive the new updated research from Fundamental Research Corporation. They reiterated buy rating on our company, increased price target from 24 cents to 28 cents. Here I should mention that this research doesn't reflect any opinion of the management, but it will be a very nice milestone for us to reach. And in that report, they were highlighting the transformation of our company from project generation model to the cash flow generating royalty company. And with the inauguration of Mariana Lithium this month, we are starting to generate, according to estimations of FRC, approximately 1.2 million annually in lithium royalties. And when Los Azules will be constructed, we could be generating as high as $6.5 million per year. So it will bring very, very, very nice potential for the valuation of our company by our shareholders.
So lots to look forward to, Kirill. Thanks as always for joining us with all the details.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for having us today. Have a great day.
You too. That's TNR Gold Executive Chairman Kirill Klipp.